Oh, wow. Okay. KASPA is
It's a proof of work coin.
Got it.
It's one of the up and coming coins.
Got it.
Very interesting technology.
Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos and welcome in today's episode. Now, before we go ahead, you know what to do. Make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps the growth of this channel, and it also helps these videos reach a lot of people. And today we have an interesting topic to discuss. We have to discuss about Marathon Digital. First of all, Marathon Digital is only mining Bitcoin and KASPA, and this alone is a massive thing. So them mining Bitcoin and KASPA puts KASPA in on a top level in terms of the interest from these big institutions, because we know that Marathon Digital is the largest Bitcoin mining company. And if this largest Bitcoin mining company decides to only mine Bitcoin and KASPA, this is really massive. We talk about something called the gut check, or the instinct check, or you can call it the eye check. I think with Marathon Digital mining KASPA, this automatically says that KASPA has passed the gut check in terms of these crypto sharks. These crypto sharks, as Jonathan Sompoliski said in his article, he said, crypto sharks will judge you in an instinct. They are usually very good at it. Their primary check is not your tech research market cap. It is whether the stated ambitions and the looks are fitting, whether the project looks like it says it is. This gut check is the first and quickest D&D procedure, and it's one where many coins or projects fail. So he said it's one where many projects fail. Now, I think Marathon Digital being too large, I think them deciding to mine KASPA, that shows you that KASPA has passed this phase one. Like they have the gut check is really passed. They have the instinct. Their instinct tells them that this is a legit project. That's why they decided to use infrastructure, use energy in order to mine this KASPA. So this is a big thing. So let's say if you're a big investor, let's say you're a new crypto investor, a big, these high net worth individuals trying to get involved in KASPA, you're going to try to look like what other big names have been involved in this project. And one thing that you're going to see is Marathon Digital. And this is something big because this is top level when it comes to proof of work mining, when it comes to proof of work crypto mining, because we know exactly that Marathon Digital is up there on the top. They are the leaders in terms of Bitcoin mining. Now, them mining KASPA, and not only mining KASPA, them mining KASPA and holding KASPA is really massive. Even if they sell some, it doesn't really matter. They have to keep on mining because, first of all, them mining KASPA adds security. And at the same time, it is another way of, let's say, promoting KASPA. Because you don't need to promote KASPA. They are going to promote it because if they hold it, they expect profit from it. So they're going to find ways to know how to pump their bags as they want. So this is actually a good opportunity for KASPA, and it's very, very good for the KASPA ecosystem. So you can argue otherwise. Some people say that them being involved is making, KASPA centralized, or them being involved is causing the price dumps that we see. But I believe that's not exactly true, because when you look at this report, back in December 31st, 2024, they were holding 34 million KASPA with the cost basis of 5,624, and the fair value was I believe this is not 4,000, this is 4,327,000. So this is in terms of millions, and this is not in terms of 5,000. You look at this quantity, 34 million KASPA is equivalent to $3 million US. So I think back in December 31st, 2024, the cost basis was let's say $5,624 US, and its fair value at that time was $4,327,000. And as you can see, they haven't sold their KASPA. The cost basis is still the same, 5.836 million, and its fair value right now, it is at 2.259 million. So the price of KASPA and their holdings are actually in a negative. They are actually at negative 50%. When it comes to the portfolio of KASPA, they are down the same as a lot of the community. Doesn't mean that these people are not thinking long term. These people are thinking long term. That's why they're still holding KASPA. Some people believe that due to the recent dumps, it was Marathon Digital that were selling their KASPA, but that is not true, because when you look at as of December 31st, 2024, the cost basis was 5.624, and the cost basis now is 5.836. That means that they've added some KASPA, maybe the KASPA that they've been mining, but I think this is actually massive for KASPA. Even if they are mining and selling some to buy more Bitcoin, I believe that still proves that KASPA, them being involved in KASPA, that gives a boost to KASPA. Let me know your thoughts. Is Marathon Digital good for KASPA, or are they, bad for the ecosystem or bad for KASPA? But in my opinion, I believe them being involved is a massive thing for KASPA. Now, if you understand what Jonathan Sompoliski said, it's not going to be hard for you to understand why Marathon Digital mining KASPA is a good thing for the KASPA ecosystem, because if crypto sharks will judge you in an instinct, they don't need the tech, they don't need the research, they don't need the market cap. They just need to see what you say and what the project is. If they match, then you have passed the instinct check. But if they don't really match, if you say that KASPA is this and that, but in actual sense it is the opposite, they're not going to invest in it. Now, in this crypto market industry, whereby there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are being pitched to them, I believe a lot of proof of work cryptocurrencies want Marathon Digital to mine them, but KASPA is not one of the projects that was pitched to Marathon Digital. Marathon Digital saw KASPA and they knew exactly that there is a lot of value and a lot of potential in KASPA. That's why they were the first ones in terms of large institutions, these crypto sharks, in terms of big, high net worth institutions. In terms of big institutions getting involved in KASPA, they're the first ones. So this is actually massive for KASPA. Let me know what you think. Other people were saying that due to Marathon Digital being involved in KASPA, this is really going to cause KASPA to be decentralized. This is really going to cause KASPA to become centralized, because they have a lot of infrastructure, and if they deploy all this infrastructure to mining KASPA, they are going to control majority of the hash rate. But this is not exactly what is being planned by KASPA. The KASPA emission schedule knew that this would happen, and that's why they decided to release a lot of coins in the beginning phase of KASPA, so that when these big institutions come on board, they don't have to control the entire network. So when Marathon Digital was involved, importance of this KASPA emission schedule was to maintain that the big institutions that are going to come and get involved in KASPA mining won't make KASPA to become centralized. They're not going to contribute to a lot of the hash rate. They're not going to be the ones that are controlling the network. That is why there was a rapid emission. There was a lot of coins that were released, but right now, with 92% of the KASPA coins remaining, even if they deploy all the resources, they only have to compete for the remaining 80%, which is not going to be bad. And I think this was a very, very big idea, a very, very clever idea. The ones that invented this, I think they were very, very careful. Marathon Digital will be involved in KASPA mining when the total mined coins would be, let's say, 20%. And at that time, I think if Marathon Digital decided to deploy all their resources, they would mine a lot of it. They would be the ones controlling the network. But due to the genius idea from the KASPA core team and the KASPA core developers and researchers, they came up with this brilliant mine. So the early people mined a lot of KASPA, which was distributed among the community. And as the network keeps on growing, as big institutions come into play, they are going to find less and less, a supply left for them. So they have to compete for the remaining 80%. Instead of competing, let's say 50 or 60, if they would have to compete for a huge percentage of the supply, I think they would have a lot of influence. But this has not happened, and it's not going to happen, which is really good. Let them keep on mining KASPA, and let them keep holding KASPA, because it is good for the ecosystem. It is good for the investment, and I think KASPA is really going to go up. It is one institution that is being involved. The next day, you're going to hear about another one, which is going to be massive for KASPA. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about Marathon Digital getting involved in mining KASPA? Are they holding for a long time, or are they just waiting to dump all these coins? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit the like, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode.